There we go.
Welcome to MMA Hot Takes. I am Daniel.
This is Big Ruse.
And today we're going to talk about the UFC and USADA ending their agreement, their partnership. Now, this is a big deal because the UFC is completely legitimate because USADA is the best, what would you call it? Sanctioning, drug testing, sanctioning body out there to regulate drug testing. And they were with the UFC for what, almost a decade? And now it's all going to end. So tell me, what do you know about this? You're actually the one that told me about it.
Well, it seems like they had a meeting in May, and everything looked up. Everything looked up to me. They said, and then I guess they had a strained relationship between USADA and UFC, largely due to the situation surrounding Conor McGregor, who dropped out of the anti-doping program after his broken leg in the Dustin Poirier fight. And then I guess, Dana's been kind of talking in the media about USADA and didn't agree with them about McGregor getting, back in the testing pool and having to submit 2 positive tests.
Dana said he didn't like that?
Yeah, Dana was one of his post-fight press conferences. He was talking about it, saying that, UFC promotes the fight, UFC sets the fights up, and wasn't happy with USADA for some sort of reason. I'm not exactly sure.
So let me ask you this: Does USADA actually have the right to cancel a fight? Are they working with the athletic commission, or no? It doesn't matter what USADA says. UFC can still do whatever they want.
I think they do have. If someone does, I think the last time somebody did test positive, they did have to cancel a fight or have to find a replacement. Even with that, John Jones, the athletic commission has the final say. Remember, they changed the fight from Vegas to LA when he ended up fighting. I think it was Gustafsson, not too long ago, maybe 5-6 years ago. I'm not exactly sure the date on that. But yeah, I think the athletic commission always has the final say. USADA obviously does the drug testing. UFC complies with USADA, and then they obviously have to comply with the athletic state commissions. So
interesting. So what's even more crazy, what you're telling me, is the whole reason for this end in partnership is because of Conor McGregor, because the biggest star, he got out of the pool. Maybe he cheated the system. He lied and said, I'm retired, so that they wouldn't test him. He was obviously taking supplements to rehabilitate himself. He put on tons of muscle. Everyone thinks he's on steroids. And now they're saying, USADA saying, no, it should be like this. And UFC saying, you know what? We don't even want you guys to regulate us. We're our own company. We're done with you because of this McGregor situation. That's wild, right?
also, too, I think a lot of the fighters were upset when USADA would come to their doorstep.
Oh, yeah.
Unannounced. And then some fighters felt like there were favoritism with some of those tests. A lot of them, even Bobby Green coming out last press conference saying that they never went to go see Khabib or Islam or their fight team because they're training out in, who the hell, God knows where, so
Interesting.
a lot of these fighters are nowhere to be found. And, a lot of these fighters get fined for not being available.
Right.
So USADA would kind of put them on blast. And then I think you could only get 3 no-show for the test, and then they fine you they could suspend you too. So they have the right to suspend the fighters. And a lot of fighters were not happy with that. So, I mean, who knows what's going to happen? We don't want to go back to the Wild Wild West when anybody was, UFC was basically conducting the test the day of the fight or, the day, right after the fight. So, I mean, USADA did kind of make it a fair and clean sport. But who's to say, we can't keep it that way? Who's to say UFC can't be their own, drug testing, have their own drug testing policies, and they can figure out, another way without USADA's help. UFC is $1 billion company, right? I mean, they should be able to do this,
Right. Yeah, that's interesting, right? Because I remember people get jackets, I think, after they do 50 or 75 tests.
So lame.
And I remember, and I remember some fighters were saying, why have I been tested 50 times? And this guy's only been tested, 10 times. They're not tested the exact same.
Not fair. Not fair at all. Yeah.
Right. So this is a very crazy situation. USADA and UFC ending their partnership. Yeah. we'll keep you guys posted on where the UFC ends up going from here. This is obviously a big story because UFC wants to be regulated. They want everyone clean. Most likely, they're just going to end up picking a new company, maybe somebody even who they have more control over, right? So we'll end up seeing how this works out, if they're going to go in-house or with another third-party company. So there it is, breaking news, USADA and UFC ending partnership. Thank you guys for checking in, and we will catch you next time.
All right, guys, have a good one.